Yeah, a lot of travelling gets done, and the intentions are when you go there, especially when you go to the UK as a wool handler or shearer, is the pound is good, the dollar's right, we'll make a heap of money here, we'll bring some money home. You do all the sums, this is going to work, and of course you know what goes on after that. Not a little dime, you've got to borrow some money to get a plane flight home. You normally leave it all in the country, but you have great meaning when you leave. It's all a business decision, but it turns into a big social outing because they're just great people and they look after us so well. They love the Kiwis all around the world. You tell them you're a Kiwi, they know you're a great hard worker and loyal. Throw number one.
Turns and throws a lovely throw, a little bit overhanging. Nicole there on table 3. Ooh, even
beautiful.
Throw from Brooke down there, a little bit of bunching, but I'd say that Sam Tiffany down here on table number 4 would have the advantage so far. And the advantage of throwing a good fleece on the table is that all the skirtings are around the edge. They're not sucked underneath the fleece, they're not over. You know, they're right on the edge, you can see them, and it makes the job of sorting it a lot easier, Gerald.
True, yeah, it won't be tucked underneath in the lights. Nicole there, she give that one a lot of air. She give it a lot of air and flicked it up and under, so it actually floated out and sort of rolled up, which you can do. It wasn't the most perfect fleece to be doing it, but that was it. You can see it's very, very loose. See that bit hanging down there, folks? You see that bit on table 3. See what's hanging down and just holding together. If you sat there for another half an hour, it'll actually let go and that bottom bit will literally fall to the ground. That's good. It means that the sheep's been well presented and well looked after during the season, okay? Because they'll get really tight if they have a bit of a check in their life, whether it be a storm, whether it be lack of feed or whatever. But they don't like that. They don't like the cotty wool. It's called cots when it starts going all tight. And you can chuck those things from 20 metres away and land them on the table. It's fair and square because it's just like a tiger rug. It's just dead, bang, smack. Hard as a rock. Well, that's not happening here today, and this is going to test these young juniors in a semi-final when there's lots and lots of stuff going through their mind. Their little brain at the moment is thinking about a million things. The old hard drive is under overload. By jolly it is. Trying to think, oh, did I do that right? Oh, I got that wrong. Oh, what do I do now? Oh, the shearer's got another one coming. And talking about that, fleece is arriving too, Mars.
They certainly are, Sam Tiffany. Oh, that's a lovely throw from Nicole on table 3. See what these other girls can do. Brooke, her fleece got caught up at the top of the table when she went to throw it. But hey, you know, that's how it goes. You got to keep moving. But down here on table number 4, I like the looks of the Sam Tiffany down here. She's working away quietly, not making too much fuss, too much bother. Because how many heats have we got? We've got 3 of them, haven't we? 3 semis, is there? And we're only going to take the top 4. Ooh, that's a bit tough.
Yep, 3 semis. Yeah, it's interesting watching all the different behaviours that they portray. Some of it is literally their makeup of who they are. You know, that's just their bloodline is to stay calm and relaxed and never get flustered. Okay, a man I come up here, Michael Hogan, who's a referee the odd time up here at the Golden Shears. He's the same. He does a lot of refereeing around shows, and all sorts of things can be happening as they do behind the curtains, as if to say, and he just stays calm and collective and never raises his voice and just takes it as it rolls. And that happens here too. It's their makeup. They just you can tell them, come on, get going, get going, come on, rattle your dags. You got another gear or all these sorts of things. But no, they just got that steady gear. But they still get the job done, as Tiffany's going to do down the bottom stand as he heads back now to get that little wee cheek wall out of the way. Right, a little bit of running here by Brooke in the second stand. A bit of a roll going on with Nicole. Nice and tight, puts that in the bag. By jolly she does. Geraldine, what a beautiful name that is. Geraldine, we like that. Great place down in the South Island as well. Beautiful and hot. Back to the board, stand 1. Geraldine does a bit of tidying up. See her just chucking away. Here's some more throws. Birch. Oh, look at that, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, Sam down here. Sam felt a rush of blood. I think we've got about 4 or 5 points overhanging up the top. There was a lovely throw on table number 3 from Nicole.
Beautiful.
Good throw from Brooke as well, and a little bit overhanging, but not too bad. I think it's, how minutes is it? 1 minute and 30 seconds, I think it is, for these junior wool handlers. 1 minute and 30 seconds.
Go, go, go.
Who wants to be the first one to the smoko, Gerald?
Yeah, that's the drill. They're a bit like your presser, really. The shearers knock off and get organised and everything's ready to go, and they're down there having cups of tea, and the girl's still doing a sorting, and sorting is complete for Brooke. She's happy with that one. She's got one fleece sitting aside there for some reason. Not sure what the drill is with that one there, but obviously it's not in the courier basket for whatever reason, but she's made a call on it as a junior. Tiffany down beside you. She's the first one on the broom. Sweep, sweep, under the table. The tables are clear. Bang, bang, bang. That's what I like. Make some noise. Beautiful. Pluck, pluck, pluck. Get those tables clean. Onto the brooms they swing. Underneath, they've got to get these little bits out of the way. Oh, look. It's a bit like what I was discussing before. It mightn't mean much. None of it's worth a lot. But the short of the story is, if you get lots of little bits, they start adding up to a big bit. And that's what it is for the farmer. That's what they get down to, these little bits. You do this for 8 or 10 days in a row at some of these big stations you got up here. It starts adding up to a lot of bales. There's the hand in there for Sam Tiffany. And that's why they do it, folks. They've got value add on the little bits. But it all adds up. It may pay their wages for the end of the day for the farmer. Brooks wrapped up. Geraldine, she's wrapped up. Nicole, how you going? Shake, shake, shake. Get that value add going. That's the girl. Get that last finishing touches there. Have one wee more look around, but she's happy with that baby.
It's good to see that these wool handlers, Gerald, you know, they come up all dressed nice and smart. You go into a wool shed situation, it can be a little bit different. You can see them in red bands. I've seen wool handlers in steel caps. Usually they've got hoodies on. Don't take them off till after lunch unless the contractor walks in the door. And then everything comes off. The wool goes flying. Okay, heat two, Rick.
Yeah, thanks, Tama. Heat 2 of our junior competition. Table 1, Conan Gray. Credence Coleshaw on Table 2. Naira Puha and Kiriana Brown. Heat 3 of the junior wool handling semi will be Tiara Russo, Pekatai Puna and Kennedy Angeline Cahoon. Just a call also to our YFC teams to make themselves available because we'll be underway with that very shortly. So Manawatu team, Aaron Haynes, Simon Goss, Connor Puha, Naya Puha. Ararangi team, Ethan Pankhurst, Brett Langrel, Sarah Miggins and Corey Smith.
Good to see the YFC still going hard. Gerald, sort of died off a little bit, hasn't it? The young farmers. Used to be very, very strong.
Yeah. Well, it's sort of South Island, especially from Canterbury down, massive change in land use, change in stabilities of communities, everything along those lines. You probably get an idea of what I'm trying to say there. And of course, the real stability in the farmers and the farmers' sons that were taking part in all those young farmer sort of systems aren't there anymore as farms are getting bigger and bigger and more corporate style.
Shearers to the board.
Right, heat 2.
Timekeepers ready. Shearers get set to go. Now, I was having to think before, Gerald, about these wool handlers when they go up a class, like from junior to senior. And when you're a shearer, it's like printed down in the guidelines. You know, when you shear a certain tally. But with wool handling, I think it comes on wins, doesn't it? Is it wins or placings or?
Unknown for me, Turma, actually.
I think it comes on placings. That's why sometimes you'll see some of these, especially in the senior class, some of these wool handlers, they'll be there for a little while and like, come on now, time to get up. But a lot of times in these junior classes, a lot of these girls are still teenage girls.
Yep.
You know, fresh out of high school. Got dragged to the shed by auntie or uncle by kicking and screaming. But once you break the ice doing a show and you do get a placing, puts a whole new perspective on it. You get hungry for it. You're just hungry to get up on that stage again and receive a prize, and that's awesome.
Yeah, it is. And sometimes you just need that. We don't all like getting out of our comfort zones. I don't think many people do. Not many people have that mindset of, pushing the boundaries, pushing the limits all the time. And we like to get in the comfort zone and do what we know we're good at. We don't want to fail and all those sorts of things come into it. And people just need that little bit of encouragement saying, hey, look, you're an open wool handler now. Come on, have a go at it. Oh, but what about this? You'll be right. You get up there and have a go. You'll be okay. And they just need that encouragement, that support. Talking about the word support, well, you're going to get it here at the Golden Shears with a committee like this. They've got Philip Morrison and his boys. Terrific throw by Corshaw here on the second stand. Didn't hear a round of applause, but by jolly, she should have got one. Gray, front stand here. Loose, very loose sort of fleece. He has handled that very well considering how loose it is.
Yeah, down there on table number 4, Kiriana, when she went to throw it, I think she sort of freaked out a little bit, but it still came out pretty good. So, Kiriana, well done to you. Nice throw, nice fleece. Not a lot of first pieces left on there. These wool handlers, I think they're overlooking things a little bit too much. I've just been watching their first pieces baskets, and there's a lot of white wool in there. So these wool handlers, it's just in the fingertips. You don't want to use too much of your hand, otherwise you'll end up getting over skirting. And then when the wool goes out the back to the other judges, those are the nasty ones. They dissect these fleeces fibre by fibre. And if they find any faults, that's where you can lose the majority of your points. The board points usually are not where most of the points are lost. It's usually out the back in the dungeon, Gerald.
Rumour has it, I had discussed earlier that they used to weigh all the stuff, all the things that they thought were in the incorrect basket. But rumour has it's changed to a grid sort of system now. But the short of the story is it's the same end result. It's very, very small, meaning they get into the little bits, because they too know that those little bits start adding up when you're talking about a whole lot of days at a big station, when you've got bales of little bits, okay? And that will pay for the contractor, and that will pay for the staff as far as the farmer goes. So it's worth doing. By jolly it is. Right, back to the board here. They're doing the bunching up. Conan Graves going to be the first one to take enough confidence to say, here we go. He throws out the top, doesn't roll quite like he'd like, but just sort of rolled out the bottom. How did Corshaw go again? Oh, a difficult fleece to throw, but she's done okay there. Down to Puha. She's sort of just been working away, and the announcers have missed her so far on the third stand. In she goes, get just those fingertips there. I think Tuma might be right there. Just, be careful with those skirtings. Onto the top knot sort of wool she goes. Rolls it over. Back to the shearer. The advantage they've sort of got really at the moment is because it's taking it's playing the ref. At the moment they've seen the scores from their heats to know what are the judges looking for here. What are they thinking at the Golden Shears with these fleeces? They give me a bit of a bombing for doing X in the heats. They thought I overskirted, they thought this, they thought that. Well, now's the time to play the ref. If they only want a little bit off, well, a little bit they'll get. That's what it's about, but I'm making a judgment call. This is what I've been taught by Tectra. Great company. The big roll goes by Puha. Clears the table. Back to get that little bit of fluffy wool there. That's got to come off the side of the face. Connor.
Tectra, the sponsors here. Yeah, this is Nairi, I think it is, on table number 3. Connor was her brother. He's already competed. But here they go. Down the last side, Weekly Shears. This is the third and final fleece. Wool handlers on tables 1, 3 and 4. Fleeces in the fadge. Credence has got the tight roll up there. She's got the cool tattoos down the legs. Here we go. 1 minute and 30 seconds. Oh, a lovely throw here on table number 3. She would be miles ahead in time stakes because all the first pieces are right down the side of the table. There's no bending over, having to use your knee to bring the wool up to you. Credence there, ooh, a little bit. She might have got a little bit lost on that fleece. That Shearer might have done something a little bit wrong, because I know that she's a very good competitor. But here we go. 1 minute and 30 seconds down there. Kiriana Brown from Martinborough. She looks like she's nearly ready to roll up. 1 minute and 30 seconds, Gerald. That's not a lot of time. How's Conan going there on table number 1?
Conan is going well. Come on, Conan, I hear. That's it. Don't overanalyse it. It's a bit like judging a sheep out the back. Don't look for it. If it's not there, don't take it. You keep looking for something negative, you'll find it if you look hard enough. Same thing with sorting wool. If it's there, take it. If it's not, don't worry. Move on to the next thing. Moving on, the brooms are in the handstands, 3 and 4. It's sweep, sweep, sweep time again. It's such a repetitive thing, isn't it? Credence onto the broom. Connor, hey, by jeebus, it might be repetitive there, Mr. Announcer, but by jolly, I'm going to get this wool over here and I'm going to get it over there quick. Table out of the way. Table out of the way on stand 1 for Gray. Sweeping it down. Get that bit off the top. Is he happy with the floor? The broom is placed down. He's onto the shake, shake, shake. What's happening down there behind the judge's back? Down on the bottom stand. Stand 4, Tuma. The hand is in the air.
We've got Naira down there on table 3. Looks around. Oh, Conan
Gray's
jumps in there first. He's the big boy with the
Corshaw. Finishing touches here around the basket, and she's happy as well.
Heat number 3.
Thanks, ladies and gentlemen. That concludes Heat 2 of our junior semi-finalists. Heat 3 to take the board now, please. Tiara Russo on table 1, Pekatai Puna on 2, and Kennedy competing on table 3, and Angeline Cahoon, our very own secretary, Golden Shears secretary, on 3. On table 4, I'm sorry.
Isn't it great to see these? You see these more senior wool handlers going up here, cleaning up for the juniors, for their buddies. We'll get this all swept up. Wool buddy, they're calling it these days. Marvellous stuff. They just get up there. They're here anyway, thinking, right, let's just give them a hand. Let's get this show running. We want to support Philip Morrison. That's the call of the year. Let's support him and his committee. If we can do so and keep this baby running, we'll jump off our seat, get this job done, get the junior wool handlers up there, and for competing against them, which does happen, that's beside the point. This is like our rugby game. What happens on the field stays on the field. After that, we're going to have a beer and pie together. So it runs like that in the wool handling family as well.
Just quickly, ladies and gentlemen, an announcement for the finalists, Tipuni Kokuri Senior Wool Handling. 4 finalists in order of qualification: Carmen Smith, Pongaroa; Paige Broush from Porongahau; Tamanako Waikiri, Masterton; Dane Rehi Tiko. Well done. Congratulations to those competitors, the finalists of the Kokuri Senior Wool Handling.
Shears to the board. Timekeepers ready. Shearers, get set to go. Okay, Gerald, I'm going to start a little bit different this time. We're going to start with the wool handle on table number 4. This is Angeline Colhern, local girl, secretary. So she has got to put up with a lot of our rubbish, and she does it very, very well. Her mother and father here watching, very, very proud. We couldn't do it without this lady here on table number 4. Angeline, you are awesome. On table number 3, Anne Kennedy, a local girl as well, and a very good competitor. And just sort of goes about her business without too much fuss. And there on table number 2, we have Piketai Puna. Piketai, I've seen him around watching these wool handlers. He had the iPad out, zooming in on what these open competitors are up to, and that's the way to learn. And down there on the end, we have Tyra Russo, Masterton. Got the Russo on the back of the singlet. That's pretty cool, isn't it, Jill?
Ah, that's pretty good. Did you see that little flick that table two Puna did there? I was just watching here while you're having a bit of a yak. And there used to be a wee guy, I don't know where he is. I'm talking yesteryear now. The wee guy called Mousy. I didn't know his real name was a shearer, but his name was Mousy. It just reminded me of this wee fella, Mousy. And he was the same. He got right in there, got the knees cramped down like that there, got on nice and close, and just had those little fingers going around. That's where he got his nickname from. Mousy. He just moused his way around the wall. And yeah, Puna just reminds me of that in some way, shape or form. I'm not too sure why, but that's just how it's rolling here today. Rightio, talking about rolling, well, unrolling. It's that time for the fleece. We're going for the throws. Judges are taking their positions. And here we go. A wee flick there for table two. Puna down on the bottom stand. Tuma a little bit hanging over just at the top of the table there where the front leg would have been. And a little bit down here, Russo.
A little bit overhanging down here on table number 4, but I'll tell you what, it is a fairly clean fleece. It's going to take her no time at all to process it. Down there watching this young girl, and on table number 3. She's skirted one side, she's looking around, she's even starting the other side. That's how much confidence this Woolhandler has. Confidence would be the key.
Yeah.
Confidence in her ability to get back, frib the belly, get around, take the sock wool out, take the short wool out, take any pizzle stain that could be around that crutch wool. You know, there's a lot of processing faults around that, the fertiliser works as they call it. There's a lot of points to be lost. And, you know, these judges here in the blue coats are really watching around that area because, you know, like I say, that's where they can lose so many points. Around the heads work the shearers and wool handlers, getting those hollow fibred bits from around the head, and they put them into a separate bin as well. 9 separate bins we have here, all of these with a different grade of woolen, and then you have your main pack where the main line goes into. But down the last side work these shearers, these wool handlers, all of them still got their fleeces on the table, Gerald. Are we going to run into a bit of trouble?
Yes, could be. Go, back to the tables. It's essential now. Have a list of priorities, and I'm telling you the major priority you have on your list right at the moment in big bold letters is clear the table. Get that table clear, give it a shake, give it a bang. This is a semi-final. Back to the board they go. Shearers coming out just like a standard sheep shearing day as they would. Look at that. Russo does a bit of clearing, makes room for the shearer. Does a bit of clearing. I'm trying to do 2 things at once. Someone's speaking in one ear and I'm talking out my mouth and the other. It's not going too well there for a second or two. What are we back? Got to get my train of thought back going now. On to the fleeces they go. Round the fingers here, this local girl in stand 1. Pulling it off, sorting it. Puna. Back to the board they go. By jolly, they're going to get caught out again. There's a bit of action there. That line there show up a wee bit. Everyone's awake now, I think. We're going to have a big woolen. Wool away! That's what the shearer says as they come out in the stall there, and he just gives it a kick with the back of his leg. Gives it the old Achilles. Whack! Wool away! Come on, girls, get up with it. And here we go, girls or boys or whoever it might be. Tuma, we're starting to heat up. This is the last heat of the wool handling here until we move on to that young farmers.
Well, like you say, Gerald, if they weren't awake before, they're wide awake now. Here we go, some of these wool handlers, they might even be starting to show a bit of perspiration. Down the last side work these shearers, the wool handlers, they're running up and down the table. Some of them look like they might be in a little bit of the day's confusion. But down the last side work these shearers, these boys are shearing very well. We want to keep the pressure on these wool handlers. We want to find the best of the best. And down here on table number 4 at the moment, she is the only girl up with the play. Here we go. Quick. Shearers about to let them go.
Woo. Go. Shake the table. Here we go. Man, they got a lot of support though. Tuma.
Well,
they know the shearers aren't coming out.
We've got 3 Masterton people on here, so they should have a fair bit of support. 1 minute and 30 seconds. Come on, Angeline, I'm backing you. You're our secretary. You're our wonder lady around here. We want to see you in that final. Here she goes. She's got a big smile on her face. She shouldn't be listening to me. She should be worried about the wool. But here she goes, great competitor. What's going on down your end there, Gerald?
Oh, just a wee bit of wool coming out there, a wee bit of individual stuff. Russo just happy with that. Now away she goes. Rolls it over, happy there. Onto the broom goes Kennedy. Puna, let's hear some noise, folks. Let's get him behind them. Puna gives it a big shake, but he's had too many eggs for breakfast this morning. He got up bright and early in a cup of tea as well. Oh, by jolly, it's a loose fleece. He's flicking it here and flicking it there. Where do I go next, he says. Take a breath, that's what I say. Take a breath, Puna. Now he's in for the roll. He's happy with that. The tables are getting shaken around. The brooms are getting swept. The wool's flying. This is what happens in a wool shed all day long. But it takes 2 hours to put your hand up like that. That's when the run is over. What's happening now? They're still on the broom. Kennedy's happy. She's sucking some air in. Thank God this is a non-smoking stadium, I can tell you that.
Come on, Angeline. Have a look around. Happy as. Well done, Angeline. Down there on table number 2. Pikatai. He's got broom in hand, lifts that table. Oh, look at that, just lifts it up with one finger. 1 minute and 30 seconds is the sealed time, and then after that it's 1 point per second.
Go.
Down on the knees. Looking for your false teeth. There we go. Looks around, happy. Time. Time down there on table number 1. Well done, you competitors.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. That's the junior wool handling semi-final. Tectra sponsored. We've worked our way through the morning. Wool handling all the way up till now. Give them a round of applause. They've come here. They've made their way through yesterday and all the elimination rounds to get to here. And a big thank you to the sponsors.
Yeah, thank you, fellas. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be moving into our YFC Young Farmers Club Teams event very shortly. We'll get ourselves organised. Manawa 2 team, Aaron Haynes, Simon Goss, Connor Puha, Naya Puha, Harangi team, Ethan Pankhurst, Brett Langrel, Sarah Miggins, Corey Smith. Just our draw for our North Island Wool Handling Circuit final. That'll be straight after the YFC. It's the North Island Wool Handling final. Cherie Alabaster, Ronnie Goss, Emma Braddock and Kieran Herbert. Also, YFC Blue Ribbon competitors. It'll be a bit later on in the morning. The draw for that, Corey Palmer, Brett Langrel, Mark Granger, Linton Palmer, Jack Fagan, Aaron Haynes. So that's the Blue Ribbon event. Be held in after these next 2 events a bit later on. Just a reminder, shearers, if you wouldn't mind keeping handpieces, etc., off those velour seats. They obviously seep oil and residue onto that